Hi, my name is Meg Edwards and I'm a GTD coach, and today I wanted to talk about goals. And we kind of define goals are things that you want to accomplish maybe 1 to 2 years from now. Where projects are things that have next actions and that you're looking to accomplish within a couple of weeks, couple of months to a year, maybe up to 18 months, you kind of get to decide that framework. And in the Getting Things Done book, in chapter 8, which is on the reflecting phase, David talks about goals on page 201, where he talks about the bigger picture reviews. You know, so much of the weekly review is on the ground level and the project level, but then he talks about the bigger picture reviews. But he's got this one great little sentence right here about goals where he says this. He says, trying to create goals before you have confidence that you can keep your everyday world under control will often undermine your motivation and energy rather than enhance it. And I think that this is another reason why we have, as GTD coaches, a bottom-up approach when we're coaching people. That we're really clearing the ground level and the project level to be able to support people to be more easily available to the higher horizons. So I want to read you this part because I think that it really will help you really, again, understand our framework of the horizons. And he says this, he says, the explicit focus of this book is not teasing out those horizons 3 to 5 levels. Urging you to operate from a higher perspective is. However, its implicit purpose to assist you in making your total life expression more fulfilling and better aligned with the bigger game you're all about. As you increase the speed and agility with which you clear the ground and Horizon 1 levels of your life and work, be sure to revisit the other levels you're engaged in as needed to maintain a truly clear head. How often you ought to challenge yourself with that type of wide-ranging review is something only you know. The principle I must affirm at this junction is this. You need to assess your life and work at the appropriate horizons, making the appropriate decisions at the appropriate intervals in order to really come clean. That's a lifelong invitation and obligation to yourself to fulfill whatever your unfinished destiny or intentionality happens to be. Over the years, I have discovered through my own experience, as well as being intimately involved with scores of people in their day-to-day worlds, that getting ultimately grounded and in control of the mundane aspects of life produces a rich field of natural inspiration about our higher level stuff. It is because of our deeper drives and inclinations that we have embroiled ourselves in the complexities and commitments that often create confusion and the sense of being overwhelmed. You felt a profound need to have children? Now you got them. And each one is a major business to manage for at least 2 decades. You felt impelled to be creative and produce recognized and monetized value in the world, so you built a business, or committed to a lofty professional career, and you're now buried in many more things than you feel that you can handle. More goals may not be necessary for you now. You need comfort with the ones you've already put in motion and the confidence that you can execute elegantly on any new ones. I just wanted to share personally that this was so true for me. When I first was introduced to the Getting Things Done methodology, I recently had moved to Maine, recently married, recently had a baby, started a business, already had a dog. He wasn't that old. I think he was maybe just like 2 years old. And I was living, all my projects were a manifestation of my goals and my vision. And I frankly would have blown a fuse if I all of a sudden had to come up with new goals and vision. I needed to get my arms wrapped around what I had created. I was feeling overwhelmed with what I had created. And GTD allowed me to get control over that. And then after that happened, I just naturally started gravitating up toward the higher horizons. That's why at GTD Focus, we have all these different kinds of programs to solve different things for different people. We actually offer a Vision and Refocus 6-month program to help people on the higher horizons who they've gotten control over the lower horizons and they want some support on the what next, on their goals, vision, and purpose. But David says right here in the book, embedded on page 201, where he says the explicit focus of this book is not teasing out horizons 3 to 5 levels, the goals, vision, and purpose. Where in the third book, he does tease that out more. Because I think that so many people, again, we need to get our arms around the lower horizons. So it's not that we don't address the higher horizons, but our main focus, or his main focus in this book, is laying out the framework and then helping you really, really dive in and get control over the lower horizons, which I've never seen anybody tease out as beautifully and elegantly and comprehensively as David Allen did in the Getting Things Done book. So would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your reflections. Did you find this helpful? Did you already know this and catch this, embedded in page 200, even though he sprinkles this throughout the book? And as always, thank you for participating in these GTD gems. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks. For more GTD resources, please visit gettingthingsdone.com and David Allen's YouTube channel. For more information on GTD coaching, please email us at info@gtdfocus.com or visit our website at gtdfocus.com.